Anglican lay theologian and writer Clive Staples Lewis was from the United Kingdom. At Oxford University and Cambridge University, he held academic appointments in English literature. I have learned now that while those who speak about one's miseries usually hurt, those who keep silence hurt more. We are not necessarily doubting that God will do the best for us, we are wondering how painful the best will turn out to be. God can't give us peace and happiness apart from himself because there is no such thing. A children's story that can only be enjoyed by children is not a good children's story in the slightest. Mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain, but it is more common and also more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. It is easier to say my tooth is aching than to say my heart is broken. Education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make man a more clever devil. I can't imagine a man really enjoying a book and reading it only once. Love is something more stern and splendid than mere kindness. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. Eating and reading are two pleasures that combine admirably. Things never happen the same way twice. I think that if God forgives us we must forgive ourselves. Otherwise, it is almost like setting up ourselves as a higher tribunal than him. Atheism turns out to be too simple. If the whole universe has no meaning, we should never have found out. You never know how much you really believe anything until its truth or falsehood becomes a matter of life and death to you. A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the. Don't use words too big for the subject. Don't say infinitely when you mean very, otherwise you'll have no word left when you want to talk about something really infinite. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, whatever he does, whoever he is. Courage, dear heart. The task of the modern educator is not to cut down jungles, but to irrigate deserts. God allows us to experience the low points of life in order to teach us lessons that we could learn in no other way. Now the trouble about trying to make yourself stupider than you really are is that you very often succeed. When we lose one blessing, another is often most unexpectedly given in its place. You would not have called to me unless I had been calling to you, said the lion. If you love deeply, you're going to get hurt badly. But it's still worth it. Nothing you have not given away will ever really be yours. Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wonder, till it drives you mad, what would have followed if you had. It is a very funny thing that the sleepier you are, the longer you take about getting to bed. Relying on God has to begin all over again every day as if nothing had yet been done. Since it is so likely that, children, will meet cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage. Otherwise, you are making their destiny not brighter but darker. Adventures are never fun while you're having them. But courage, child, we are all between the paws of the true Aslan. Do not let us mistake necessary evils for good. Do not dare not to dare. You can't know, you can only believe, or not. A young man who wishes to remain a sound atheist cannot be too careful of his reading. Gratitude looks to the past and love to the present, fear, avarice, lust, and ambition look ahead.